displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the park's professor. 10th hole. The par and distance are at the top of your screen. We spent all of the front 9 in a heavily wooded area, and most of the first 9 holes were really short, and all of them were really heavily wooded and somewhat tight holes. Now we break out into the open, but we do so with a fairly uninspiring hole. This hole is longer, but really flat, really open, and honestly really boring. I want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the park's professor. There's the 10th basket, and there's the view back to the tee. The 11th hole plays moderately uphill. That's the park entrance road you see off to the left. There is vehicle traffic on that road, and it is definitely a safety hazard. On the front 9, we had the asphalt walking trails, which created safety hazards and other hazards. On the back 9, we have that park entrance road and a few other roads. So you do really have to be careful when you throw and check for other pedestrians and vehicles on this course when you're playing here before you throw. The basket is located off to the right here in this wooded area. This is a really nice location for the basket. You have to pick the right angle and curve your disc in from left to right in order to get close to the basket. This is a nice hole, but that road really is a problem there. The 12th hole is the last heavily wooded hole on this course. It plays up and over a low ridge, and it's also a slight dogleg right. This is a fairly tight hole, although like many of the holes we saw on the front 9, the fairway is actually reasonably wide for a heavily wooded hole. And so if you put a good throw here with a little left to right disc flight, that should set up a birdie opportunity. Hole number 13, and now we're back out into the open area where we're going to stay for the rest of the course. This hole is a dogleg left, and it plays moderately uphill. There is dense woods on the inside of the dogleg, so there's no real reason to try to cut the dogleg here. There's plenty of room out to the right, so just go with a right to left disc flight with decent distance, and that should set up a birdie opportunity here. I really like these baskets. These look like nice new Innova disc catcher baskets. The 14th hole plays across this shallow ravine. There's a dense shrubby area in the bottom of the ravine, and it's about 200 feet to clear that shrubby area. We're going to jump across the shrubby area here momentarily. So you have to decide if you want to try to clear that shrubby area in one throw, or if you want to lay up short. In my case, I had to lay up short, but if you have a bigger arm than I do, you could definitely clear that in one throw. Very interesting hole here. The 15th hole is the longest hole on this course. It is a dogleg right with some dense woods on the inside of the dogleg, but seemingly you have the entire world out here to the left. So if you just avoid the inside of the dogleg, then you should do pretty well on this hole. We are at Windmill Park, by the way. This park is owned and maintained by Banks County Parks and Recreation in Banks County, Georgia. In terms of towns, we are close to Homer, Georgia, and so we're about 70 miles northeast of Atlanta. I captured this video on Tuesday, November the 14th, and it was a chilly afternoon with temperatures in the upper 40s when I came here and captured this video. There was only one other group on the disc golf course when I came here, but there were several other users in the park. And so when I talk about walking trails and park roads, you really do have to pay attention to other users and make sure you don't hit them with your discs on holes that play close to the park roads and also close to the walking trails. The 16th hole plays beside this strange utility shed off here to the right. Other than that, there are no other obstacles on this hole other than the terrain. Right now we are heading slightly downhill, but as we get close to the basket, we are going to head steeply uphill to get to the basket. On the top of this hill is the park's tennis courts, and probably this hill was created when those tennis courts were built. You can see just how steep this is here. This is probably the steepest area on this course. I need to say a word about the course route. There are 24 holes on this course, And for video purposes, I've broken them into the front 9, the middle 8, and the back 7. So this hole, the 17th hole, is the last hole on the middle 8. The 17th hole is a sharp dogleg right. It plays around the tennis courts, which are on the inside of the dogleg. And so the same hill that you saw in the last hole is the one that we're walking around right now. Honestly, this hole feels very contrived to me, and it's one of my least favorite holes on this course. Since this is the last hole on the middle 8, I do want to thank you for watching. Parking full-time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. The last 7 holes all play along Thompson Street, which is the road that you saw behind this basket here, and we will look at the last 7 holes on the next video. Until then, have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.